Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom TV. Hey there, I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into a topic that's going to completely change the way you connect with people, whether you're trying to spark a romantic interest, make a new friend, or simply leave a lasting impression. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to effortlessly capture someone's attention, while others fade into the background, no matter how hard they try? You might think it's all about looks, charm, or just plain luck. But I'm here to tell you that's not the case. The truth is, it's about mastering connection techniques that genuinely pique interest and make people want to engage with you. These aren't your average compliments or predictable pickup lines. They're thoughtful, psychology-backed strategies that tap into what makes someone truly curious and invested in you. As the legendary Will Rogers once said, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. That first impression starts with how you interact. And the key is knowing how to create a sense of mystery, intrigue, and fun without trying too hard. With the right approach, you'll leave a lasting impact that lingers in their thoughts long after the conversation ends. So, if you're ready to take your social skills to the next level and become the kind of person people can't stop thinking about, stick around. I'm about to reveal 7 ultimate connection tactics that are absolutely irresistible. Trust me, these methods will transform the way you approach every interaction. Let's get started. Let's kick things off with one of the most powerful tools in your social toolkit, humor. As the famous humorist Mark Twain once said, against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand. Humor isn't just about making someone smile, it's a game changer. When it comes to building connections, it breaks down social barriers in a way that compliments or small talk never can. When you make someone laugh, you're showing confidence, wit, and a sense of ease in social settings, qualities that people find deeply attractive. Laughter creates an instant bond, making the other person feel comfortable and engaged, and it sets the stage for a memorable interaction. Think about it. When someone makes you laugh, don't you immediately feel more connected to them? That's because humor triggers the release of feel-good chemicals like dopamine in the brain, which makes the interaction more enjoyable and memorable. It's not just about cracking jokes, it's about showing that you don't take yourself too seriously, and that you're comfortable enough to be playful. This kind of confidence is magnetic. For example, let's say you're chatting with someone at a coffee shop, and they mention they're terrible at keeping plants alive. You could respond with a playful grin. Oh, so you're basically a plant assassin, huh? I'll make sure to keep my cactus far away from you. It's light, it's funny, and it invites them to laugh along with you. Here's how to incorporate humor effectively. First, keep it light and situational. Don't force a joke. Look for opportunities in the conversation to add a playful comment. Second, avoid anything that might come off as mean-spirited or offensive. Humor should lift the mood, not bring someone down. Finally, don't be afraid to laugh at yourself a little. Self-deprecating humor, when done sparingly, shows humility and makes you more relatable. When you make someone laugh, you're not just breaking the ice, you're building trust and rapport that makes them want to keep talking to you. Humor is your secret weapon to becoming unforgettable. Next up, let's talk about playful teasing, a technique that can instantly spark chemistry and set you apart from the crowd. Playful teasing is all about gently pushing someone away in a lighthearted way, showing that you're not entirely captivated by their charms just yet. It's not about being negative or putting them down, it's about creating a fun, flirty dynamic that keeps them on their toes. Done right, teasing shows confidence, wit, and a sense of control, all while building a unique connection that's hard to replicate. Here's an example. Imagine you're talking to someone who's telling you about their love for baking. Instead of just nodding along and saying, "That's cool," you could tease them with a smirk. "Oh, you're a baker, huh? I don't know, I'm not sure I believe you. You're gonna have to prove it to me with some cookies first." This kind of playful challenge creates a back and forth that's both engaging and flirtatious. It's not about rejecting theme, it's about leveling the playing field, showing that you're confident enough to engage without putting them on a pedestal. You're signaling that you see them as an equal, not someone to idolize. And that dynamic is incredibly attractive. Why does this work? Playful teasing creates a subtle push-pull tension that keeps the interaction exciting. When you show interest, but then pull back just enough to keep them guessing, it triggers curiosity. They might think, does this person like me, or are they just having fun? That uncertainty draws them in. They want to figure you out, and the more they think about you, the more invested they become. Anthropologist Dr. Helen Fisher, known for her studies on love and attraction, has pointed out that playful competition and teasing can trigger dopamine in the brain, the chemical associated with pleasure and reward. This emotional roller coaster of highs and lows makes the interaction more thrilling and memorable. Here's how to tease effectively. First, keep it light and fun. Never cross into negativity or sarcasm that could hurt their feelings. Second, pay attention to timing. Teasing works best when the mood is already relaxed, and you're both sharing a laugh. And drop a playful line in the middle of a serious conversation, or it might come off as awkward. Finally, balance the teasing with warmth. After a playful jab, follow up with a genuine smile or a compliment to show you're still engaged. For example, after teasing them about their baking skills, you could add, "But seriously, I bet you make a mean chocolate chip cookie'd love to try one sometime." When you balance teasing with warmth, you create a dynamic that's flirty, fun, and irresistible. Building on the power of humor, let's explore how laughter can also help you build trust, a crucial element of any connection. Have you ever noticed how the people who can make you laugh, even on your worst days, are the ones you trust the most? That's because laughter isn't just about fun, it's a sign of emotional intelligence and resilience. When you can bring humor into a conversation, especially in moments of vulnerability, you show that you're someone who can handle challenges with grace. People feel safe around those they can trust, and laughter is one of the fastest ways to create that sense of safety. Here's why this works. When you make someone laugh, you're showing that you understand their emotions and can respond in a way that lifts their spirits. This emotional intelligence makes you stand out as someone who's not just fun to be around, but also dependable. For example, if someone shares that they had a rough day at work, you could respond with a light-hearted comment like, "Wow, your boss sounds like they need a vacation more than you do. Let's get you a coffee, you deserve it after that chaos." By acknowledging their struggle with humor and offering a small gesture of care, you're showing that you're attuned to their feelings and can make them feel better. To build trust through laughter, focus on being empathetic and observant. Listen to what they're saying and look for opportunities to inject humor that resonates with their mood. Avoid over-the-top jokes or anything that might feel forced. Instead, aim for subtle, relatable humor that shows you're paying attention. Over time, as you consistently bring laughter into your interactions, you'll become the person they turn to when they need a boost. That kind of trust is the foundation of a deep, meaningful connection, whether it's romantic or platonic. Now let's dive into a technique that's almost magical in its ability to build connection. Mirroring body language. Imagine you're in a conversation with someone, and without even realizing it, you're both leaning in, your movements in sync like a delicate dance. That's the power of mirroring. It's more than just copying someone's actions, it's about creating an invisible bond that makes the other person feel understood and connected to you on a subconscious level. When done subtly, mirroring can be one of the most effective tools for building rapport. Here's how it works. When you mirror someone's body language, you're signaling that you're on the same wavelength. For example, if they lean in while talking, you lean in slightly too. If they nod while making a point, you give a subtle nod in response. These small, synchronized movements create a sense of harmony that feels natural and comforting. Oprah Winfrey once said, "If you want to connect, lean in." And she's absolutely right. Leaning in not only shows engagement, but also sparks a subconscious connection that we all crave. Another simple gesture is a slight tilt of the head while maintaining eye contact. It says, "I'm here, I'm listening, and I'm genuinely interested." Scientists have studied this phenomenon in slow-motion videos, discovering what they call microsynchronizations, tiny, almost invisible movements like quick nods, stretched lips, or slight finger tension that happen between close friends. These synchronized actions show how our brains interpret mirroring as closeness, even if we're not consciously aware of it. It's as if our brains are saying, "This person gets me." And isn't that what we're all looking for in a connection? Here's how to mirror effectively. First, be subtle and mimic every single movement, or it'll come off as awkward or creepy. Instead, reflect their energy naturally. If they're animated and expressive, match their enthusiasm. If they're more reserved, keep your gestures calm and understated. Second, focus on key actions like leaning in, nodding, or tilting your head, small gestures that show you're engaged. Finally, avoid distractions. Glancing around or looking over their shoulders sends the opposite message, suggesting disinterest. When you master mirroring, you'll be amazed at how quickly it deepens your connections, making the other person feel seen and understood. Let's take things up a notch with a technique that adds a spark of mystery and fun to your interactions, playfully reversing the rules. People are drawn to those who keep them on their toes, not in a way that makes them uncomfortable, but in a playful, engaging way that leaves them wanting more. This dynamic invites them to subtly pursue you, creating a flirty, competitive energy that's hard to resist. Instead of being the one who's always chasing, you flip the script and make them feel like they're the ones trying to win you over. Here's an example. Let's say you're flirting with someone, and the vibe is light and fun. You could say something cheeky like, my mom warned me about people like Yawans who totally take advantage of my charm. I might have to keep my distance. What you're doing here is playfully suggesting that they're the ones chasing you, framing the interaction in a way that taps into their competitive nature. It's not about being serious, it's about keeping the vibe flirty and light, making them feel like they have to earn your attention. This approach works because it creates a dynamic where you're not just going along. With everything they say, you're adding a little spice, a playful resistance that makes the interaction more exciting. For example, if they're talking passionately about their love for painting, you could say with a grin, "You're gonna have to prove that to me. I'm not sure I believe you're as good as you say. Show me what you've got." This playful challenge invites them to engage further, creating a back and forth that's both stimulating and fun. Timing is key here. Don't drop a playful line in the middle of a serious conversation. It will feel out of place and awkward. Instead, wait for a moment when the mood is relaxed, you're both laughing, and it's clear you're just having fun. When you get the timing right, this approach makes them feel like they're working to win you over, not the other way around. It's a subtle shift, but it's incredibly powerful for building attraction and keeping the interaction dynamic. Have you ever thought about the power of a single glance? It's incredible how much a brief moment of eye contact can communicate. Eye contact is your secret weapon for building connection, and once you master it, you'll be amazed at how quickly it draws people in. People, especially women, are incredibly perceptive. They can often tell if you're interested, nervous, or just testing the waters before you even say a word. The eyes don't lie, and they reveal so much about your confidence and intentions. Here's how to use eye contact effectively. It's all about controlled eye contact. You want to hold their gaze long enough to show interest, but not so long that it becomes uncomfortable. Imagine you're at a grocery store and you catch someone's eye across the aisle. Hold their gaze for a few beats, anchor it with a friendly smile, then calmly look away. That simple act sends a subtle yet powerful message. I see you, and I'm intrigued. It's like opening a door, just enough for them to wonder what's on the other side. Humans are naturally drawn to things that aren't immediately clear or available, and that brief moment of eye contact followed by looking away creates a hint of mystery that pulls them in. Behavioral psychology backs this up. Research shows that eye contact can activate the brain's reward system, increasing feelings of attraction and interest. Communication expert Dr. Albert Mehrabian famously pointed out that 93% of communication is nonverbal, meaning your eyes are doing most of the talking before you even open your mouth. The real magic happens when you break eye contact at just the right moment. Suddenly, they're left wondering, why did they look away? Are they interested or not? That bit of uncertainty makes them curious, and now they're thinking about you. Here's how to master eye contact. First, hold their gaze for about 3 to 5 seconds, long enough to show confidence, but not so long that it feels intense. Second, pair it with a subtle smile to convey warmth and friendliness. Finally, break eye contact naturally. Don't dart your eyes away nervously. Instead, look to the side or down calmly. Throughout the interaction, keep coming back to eye contact to maintain that connection, but always balance it with moments of looking away to create that push-pull dynamic. When you let your eyes flirt, you're creating tension, intrigue, and connection without saying a word. Now let's talk about a technique that's straight out of the playbook of the most captivating TV shows: creating a stir, then disappearing at the peak of the moment. Think about your favorite show. How often does it end an episode on a cliffhanger, leaving you desperate to know what happens next? You can use that same principle in your conversations to leave a lasting impression. When things are going well, when they're laughing at your jokes, the connection feels strong, and the energy is high. That's your cue to step away. Don't wait for the conversation to slow down or fizzle out. Instead, take charge and end it on a high note, leaving them wanting more. Here's how to do it. Let's say you're having a great conversation, and the vibe is electric. You could say something like, "I hate to cut this short, but I've got something I need to take care of. Let's pick this up soon. I'm looking forward to hearing more about your baking skills." What you're doing here is not closing the interaction, but leaving the door open for more. You're sparking their curiosity, making them wonder what might come next. This technique works because, as psychology tells us, people are drawn to what they can't fully have right away. Anticipation triggers the brain's dopamine system, making them eager for the next interaction. The key here is to leave on a high note and drag the conversation out until it loses its spark. By stepping away at the peak, you're controlling the narrative and creating mystery. They're left thinking about you, replaying the interaction in their mind, and looking forward to the next time they see you. As the old saying goes, always leave them wanting more. When you master this technique, you become the person they can't stop thinking about. And that's the ultimate goal of building an irresistible connection. Let's wrap up with one of the most powerful yet underrated connection techniques, the art of touch. Have you ever thought about how much a simple touch can communicate? Studies show that we interpret touch with up to 83% accuracy, meaning we're hardwired to understand the emotions behind it, whether it's love, empathy, or even frustration. When it comes to building connection, a thoughtful touch can add layers to your words and deepen the bond in ways that words alone can't. There's a simple rule you can follow called the 5 and 15 rule. Aim to touch the other person 5 times during a 15-minute conversation. These touches should be natural and subtly playful. Nudge while laughing, a light touch on the arm during a handshake, or a gentle pat on the shoulder when you're making a point. For example, imagine you're laughing at something they said, and you lightly graze their hand as you say, "You're too funny, can't keep up." That small gesture sparks warmth and connection instantly, making the interaction feel more personal and engaging. When it comes to flirting, there are 3 key areas of intimacy to focus on: hands, hips, and head. A light touch on the hand while laughing is a subtle way to show interest. Guiding someone through a crowded room with a gentle touch on their lower back or hip communicates care and attention. And touching the head like a playful tap on the shoulder or brushing a strand of hair away is the ultimate territory of closeness, creating a unique sense of intimacy. These gestures should always be respectful and appropriate to the context. Pay attention to their body language to ensure they're comfortable. The beauty of touch lies in its subtlety. A small, thoughtful gesture can shift the entire energy of the interaction, making the other person feel seen and valued. So, the next time you're connecting with someone, ask yourself, what message am I sending with my touch? A well-timed, respectful touch can leave a lasting impact, deepening the connection in a way that words alone can't. There you have it, 7 proven techniques to capture attention and build irresistible connections. Humor to break barriers, playful teasing to spark chemistry, laughter to build trust, mirroring to create an invisible bond, reversing the rules to keep them guessing, controlled eye contact to flirt subtly, and the power of touch to deepen the connection. Mastering these tactics isn't about playing games or using manipulative tricks. It's about genuine connection, confidence, and understanding what makes someone feel valued. When you apply these thoughtful techniques, you not only create attraction, but also foster meaningful relationships that stand the test of time. Let's recap what makes these strategies so powerful. Humor and playful teasing create a fun, flirty dynamic that keeps the interaction exciting. Building trust through laughter shows emotional intelligence, making you someone people feel safe around. Mirroring and eye contact builds subconscious bonds that make the other person feel understood. Reversing the rules and leaving at the peak create mystery and anticipation, leaving them wanting more. And a simple touch adds a layer of warmth and intimacy that deepens the connection. Together, these techniques make you the kind of person people can't stop thinking about. The most important tool you have in all of this is authenticity. These strategies work best when they come from a place of genuine interest and confidence. People can sense when you're being real, and that's what ultimately makes you stand out. So, the next time you're in a conversation, think about how you can incorporate these techniques to create a memorable, engaging interaction. Whether you're trying to spark a romantic connection or simply make a new friend, these skills will help you leave a lasting impression. If you found these tips helpful, I'd love for you to support the channel by liking this video. It really helps us grow. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more content like this. I'd also love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know which technique you're most excited to try, or share a story about a time you used one of these strategies to build a connection. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, keep connecting, keep growing, and I'll see you soon.